So when implementing tiered loot, I want to know if anyone at Ubisoft recognized the fact that people switching out pants, vests, backpacks, helmets, face masks, whatever it is going to be nothing but an annoyance for players because on one hand you have all your gear that makes you a stronger character. So you get better pants that has +2 to stamina. You switch those pants out. On the other hand, you have your customization, your transmogrification. This is where, in my opinion, the community lives. This is where you see people on the forums from Wildlands to now talking about items that they wanted to see. If you look at channels like Dark Dally, I think is his name. He's been, for the entirety of Wildlands, he'll have videos where people will send him ideas to dress their character up, cool outfits to play with. That's where I feel like the community really puts their effort towards. And I don't know if Ubisoft recognizes this. You created an entire system for people to change out clothes, and then a customized area where people, this is what they're going to look like. And did you not realize that people are going to focus on what they look like, and all they're going to do in this menu is, oh, I got a higher tier item. Swap it out, swap it out, swap it out, making this entire system completely irrelevant to the game. And then at that point, don't you sit back and ask yourself, is this really the best way we could design something for this game? Because all this is going to end up being is a menu where people go into to just swap something out because it's better for their stats or attributes. The most important system you could make is something that is engaging with the player, which is why when I make my videos about how classes should work, I'll link it up here. When I make my videos on how the RPG system should work with weapons, I'll put it up here. Or the last video that I made about suppressors and bullets and how all of these, I'll put that up here as well. And you know, you could easily find these, but I'll link them up there for any people coming to this video that haven't seen those, and you new followers, whatnot, you want to check those out. Look at all these videos where I talk about the class system and how it should have been, the RPG system and how it could be, or the tiered loot system and how tiered loot should have worked. You know, people want to be engaged with the mechanics in their game, in this franchise. And Ubisoft developers need to understand, the creative directors, the creative team needs to understand that a system that just puts you in a menu and swaps out gear that makes you stronger or better or ups your attributes is not engaging. The community never asks for anything like that. It's quite the opposite. And then you know better because you know now that you have a system based on what type of clothes someone's going to need to make them stronger. You have the customized system now to completely override what these clothes look like. So right off the bat, you know that there's going to be an issue with a clothes swapping system that you put in, because people are going to need to get stronger when they find a new pair of pants, or hey guys, I got a new shirt, I have to change it out because this is +2 to stealth, or however it's going to work. You should have scrapped that entire system once you realized this is just a place where people are going to open up a menu, swap something out, close the menu, and completely disregard anything else about this system. Let's not even build it. You should have figured that out on the whiteboard when you were thinking of the system and designing it. Unless it's really true and you guys really did scrape the whole thing out of the Division. You took the whole component and guts and everything and just plopped it right in Breakpoint and maybe changed it up a little bit, the numbers to fit what makes sense for Breakpoint. But aren't you guys aren't I it's weird because the people who make these games, are they unbelievably talented? No doubt about it. You look at the design team, the animation teams, the technology that goes into this stuff. It's amazing. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for the people that create these games. But that doesn't mean that everything that is being created and pushed into these games makes sense. It makes way more sense for someone to put tons of gear on their character and for their character to be slower and less quiet than it does for someone to put a bunch of clothes on that just arbitrarily gives you +2 to stamina or whatever, and then you just customize it anyway and override those clothes. Now look, I love transmog customized. That's going to be the best part of this whole system, knowing that I'm not going to have to look at like all the clothes that I have to put on to get stronger. But we didn't need any of that. You could have had the same system that you had in Wildlands with all those awesome clothes added to those clothes, and then built stats into that had nothing to do with, oh, this makes you +2 to this, +2 to that, even though it makes no sense to the item that you have on. Example, like I said, if you're rocking with a M60 helmet, mask, heavy tack gear, tack pants, you shouldn't expect to walk into a base and sneak around like Sam Fisher. You should expect the enemy to turn around like, what are you doing, bro? I hear you from 50 feet away. I could hear you jiggling around with all your gear on. That's dumb. And at that point, the player will sit there and say, yeah, this doesn't make sense. If I want to go stealth, I should have less gear, submachine gun. But if I get into a firefight, I'm probably going to be a little weaker because I don't have the tack gear on. So maybe it takes, I'll take less bullets for me to go down. I feel like things like that the community can get behind and say, yo, this makes sense. This absolutely makes sense. And then you can discuss whether or not you can customize over that type of gear. That's another discussion altogether. But what I want to know, why Ubisoft keeps pushing these ideas into a franchise that they know is kind of standalone at this point. There's really nothing else like this on the market, but they keep pushing it towards other games that are on the market. And I don't know. You guys let me know what you're thinking about right now when it comes to Breakpoint releasing. There's not a lot of information on the forums about the tiered loot. There's not a lot of information about what's going to be changed, what's not going to be changed from what we have seen from E3 footage, from any type of new IGN footage, from anything that has come out already, for anything that's been released on a press report. We are definitely getting some type of tiered loot system that is stat-based, that is attribute-based. And I'm just wondering if Ubisoft even recognizes the mistake that they made in this system, because all it's going to end up being, bottom line this video, this is what it comes down to. All the system is going to end up being is a system in where a person opens up a menu, switches out a pair of pants or a shirt or a jacket or a gun, completely ignores that menu, and builds their character in the customized menu and how they want to look. This tiered loot system is going to be completely irrelevant to the majority of the player base. You're just going to have people consistently opening up a menu to swap out clothes, when that's not what people want. People want to build their character to how they want to look and then roll out with that character for a week, 2 weeks before they're like, all right, I'm ready for something new. They don't want to sit there and within 2 hours they opened up a menu 20 times to swap out a gun, a pair of pants, a pair of boots. Oh look, I have new gloves. What do these gloves do? They give +2 to stamina. Oh, your gloves give +2 to stamina? How? I don't know. Because the programmers said so, because the programmers were told by the creative team that's how we're doing it. And in my opinion, That was just the wrong way to, that was just the wrong path to go down. Like I said, few people who are new here on my channel, if you're just coming by my video, oh, what's this guy talking about? I suggest you look at the videos that I showed in the beginning of the video, especially the one on classes, the one on tiered loot and RPG elements, and how I thought all of that should have worked, because it really gets down to the nitty-gritty of a system that makes sense for the Ghost Recon franchise and for the tactical shooter in general. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I'm starting to look at these systems for what they are, and we're going to get a lot more information in a couple weeks when we play the beta. And when the game drops, you should expect not only me, I'm going to assume the majority of my videos will get picked up and recreated by huge channels. And that's when a voice will be really heard, when everybody starts picking up on these ideas like this really doesn't make sense. And this guy said it, 3 months ago. And, this idea does make a little more sense for what this genre, what this type of game is. So a couple months to the beta, we're going to see what's up. You guys let me know what you feel about everything that we know about the game so far, whether it's tiered loot or the leveling system, how everything's going to work, the enemy levels, if that's going to be like a tier mode type situation, any of that. Let me know how you feel about that. Talk down below. You know how it is. We'll kick it for a little bit. And that's all for right now. Quick, simple, to the point. Just wanted to really discuss that, get it off my chest on how I felt. The tiered loot system is really going to be irrelevant. It's going to be completely irrelevant in the game. It's going to be it's basically a UI built for you to just swap things out, and that's all it's going to be. There's going to be no interaction. There's going to be nothing engaging about the system itself. And yeah, that's it. Case closed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by. Comment down below. Love you guys and girls, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.